Well, that's a big question in terms of how can we minimize discrimination and racism. So first I'll start with the systemic level, because ultimately racism and discrimination, that's the root of it. It's rooted in systems of oppression, and those beliefs trickle down to individuals. So for example, when you look at the history of racism, right? It's rooted in people working for free. It's rooted in capitalism. It's rooted in enslaving people, and in order for them to work for you for free. So in order to justify that, you have to make those people seem less than, right? That's why African peoples were classified as like less than human, closer to animals. So when people disassociate you from your humanity, it's easier to treat you poorly, right? And so those belief systems that have been entrenched in sort of the fabric of our society. So when you look at policies, practices, procedures, it's kind of embedded in invisible ways. So to give you a concrete example, if you look at who are in positions of power within our society, if you look at who's running our schools, if you look at who are the people in our political system, if you look at who are the people running businesses and corporations, who are those people? They are predominantly of a certain race, of a certain gender, of a certain class, of a certain sexual orientation, right? And if you check the boxes, white, European, male, and when you have a certain group of people who are running most of society's major institutions, what happens is society gets framed through their lens. And when it's framed through their lens, anybody that doesn't fall within that framework is considered other. And otherness is judged and marginalized.
They feel different.
And yeah, they're treated different, they feel different, and it results in systemic discrimination. So you hire people that you look like you, that you relate to, that have similar culture to you. If all of those people at the top fit that description that I described, you're going to see that pattern continue. So then you see people being discriminated against because they're not in the club, right?
Yeah.
So that's how things on a systemic level kind of evolve. And then on the personal level, you have the impact of that, right? Where people internalize those belief systems, that people who are outside of the dominant group are different, less than, marginal, and they act out those beliefs towards each other. And even people within same groups. So for example, within African communities, you will see people internalize those beliefs and believe that, oh, what are some of the stereotypes about African peoples? Well, they're lazy, they don't show up to work on time, they're not the best, people to have in your workplace, they steal. And so you'll find even a black person saying, I'm not trying to hire a black person because they don't come to work on time. People internalize those belief systems, right? So that's some of the impact.